we're back at Lothric Castle now. Yes, son. And we're gonna continue. Wait a minute. I feel like I skipped one part of character side quest because hey, let me get my words. Let me just say this way is progression, this way is optional. We're going optional. But there's a character quest line, Hawkwood. There's Hawkwood's quest line. I have triggered at different points in the game on each playthrough, so I'm not entirely certain when it's triggerable. I think I can go back to Firelink Shrine and do it now. I think I can do it later. So I'm just gonna press forward. And I'll do it after I finish. When I next go back to Firelink. After these optional areas, when I next go back to Firelink is when I'll see if I can trigger Hawkwood's thing. And of course, when we're on an elevator, jump off early. And why do we jump off early? We jump off early for this. Esther Shard, ah yeah. And the Consumed King's Garden, this area. Oh boy. These things are common enemies. Thankfully, it's not a huge area. But actually, you know what I should do? Do I have fire arrows? I do not. Do I have fire crossbow bolts? I do not. Do I have fire bombs? I do not. Really? I don't have fire bombs? Well, that's gonna have to be fixed later on. Am I really about to live this life? Am I really about to live this life? Because all of the ground is toxic, and I don't want to fight these guys while in toxic. And there's a lot of them. Ah, fuck it. Fuck it. We'll just do it live. We'll do it live. I believe there's a deep gem around here. Is it deep? Being a sacrifice? No, there's a deep gem around here somewhere. I know that. I'm not crazy. Well, I'm not too crazy. Take you. Take the claw. Shadow set. And black firebomb. And up here's another cathedral guy. Hello, cathedral man. How you doing, buddy? Yeah? You doing alright? You should be in the cathedral deep. But now you're out here. Why are you people out here? Yeah, that's it. That was meant to be a backstab. I fucked up a backstab that was handed to me. I'll take that. Alright, so... Claws. Claws. Weapon favoured by intelligencers of an eastern land. The lacerations it inflicts do not mend easily when two-handed claws are equipped on each hand. Alright. You know what would be good? You know what would be good? Just get rid of that sound. And shadow set. Black cloth mask worn by spooks from an eastern land. Sacrifices defense for greater mobility. The late King Osiris was obsessed by dragons, to the extent that he would later be known as the Consumed King. Countless assassins were sent to end his reign, but none have returned. Now, the late King Osiris is Guinevere's son? No, it's Guinevere's husband. And he's insane. I don't remember where to sleep. Wait, no, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, never mind. False alarm. False alarm. It wasn't an alarm, but still, it's just... Never mind. Never mind me. Open up a shortcut that you don't entirely need, but it helps you avoid the toxic on your way back. Because, like, that's the entirety of that area. That's the entirety of that area. You don't exactly need a shortcut, but it helps. Thank you. Actually, it might be useful because I'd rather go into this boss fight with all my Estus. Because fuck this boss fight. It is, the only way I can describe it is a Bloodborne boss fight. And by that I mean fucking insane. Like, I get it. The point of Dark Souls 3 is more mobility than the previous games. But how about you don't have everything be Bloodborne? Down that scale, thank you. Also got a chunk, so I can finally have a +7 weapon. After all this time. No, I should be able to do this boss fight with 10 Estus, hopefully. Watch me fail. And again, since we're on an elevator, jump off early. I don't think there's any more items down there. Dragon Scale Ring. It's useful from PvP, nothing else. Reduces damage from backstabs. Ring of Osiris, former King of Lothric, reduces damage from backstabs. In his later years, Osiris became fascinated with dragons. After going mad, he was more commonly known as the Consumed King. Many assassins were dispatched to his domain, but none returned. The Consumed King ascribed his resilience to the divine protection of the Dragon Scale. So he's loopy. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, as they say. Now, let's just play with one of you. Let's just play with one of you, shall we? I'm actually rather glad that I can have a bow on and still do a good roll. Come on. I do like how these ones who are basically guardians of Lothric instead of Cathedral of the Deep wear blue instead of red. I like that. I like that touch. Despite Lothric Knights being clad in red, these guys are blue for some reason. Probably because of Cyrus, and you'll see why. Thank you. And now we go over here. What do we have here? Hawkwood the Deserter. Oh, there's an item up there. I forgot. There's an item down there. God. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll probably die and have to run it again. So I'll be back. Okay, this shield gives good resistance. I never noticed how much resistance it gives to stuff. Hi, buddy. Come on. also like to point out, Hawkwood isn't great for damage in my experience. He's mostly just here as a distraction for the boss. And that's basic. I'm like, he can do damage when opportunity presents himself, but he's mostly here just as another target for the boss's attention. And little more than that. And I got a ring that I accidentally skipped past. Magic ring, alright. Alright, Hawky. Hawky Porky. Did you hear that?
You ignorant slaves. Finally taken notice, have you? Of the power of my beloved Ocelot, child of dragons. Well, I will not give him up. For he is all that I have.
Osiris, the Consumed King. So this guy is so obsessed with dragons that he was able to do experiments to basically turn himself into a dragon. And as further explained in a later area, I believe it's a later area, it was from his soul, I can't remember. But the dragon he took particular interest in was Seath. And as you can see, he has specifically turned into Seath the Scaleless, more or less. He specifically emulates Seath the Scaleless.
Show yourself, Ocelot. My dear little Ocelot.
And here's where things get weird, because Seath was blind, and it's also somewhat implied that Osiris is also blind from his transformation to a Seath-like dragon, a scaleless white dragon. But then it's implied he's blind. But then what about Ocelot? Because you'd think he's just crazy. You think he's just crazy and cradling a non-existent child of dragons. But I've been keeping quiet. I'm not sure if it's picked up in the sound, but you can hear a crying baby. So there we go. So it is very, very possible that he has in fact created a child of dragons, and for some reason they are invisible. Also, if you need any more connections between him and Seath, he can breathe crystals just like Seath did. Thank you for that. So yeah, the Consumed King, obsessed with dragons and their longevity, came across Seath's ramblings, teachings, whatever. Basically did some sort of experiments, turned himself into a scaleless dragon like Seath, possibly blind, and has apparently created some form of dragon child. It's not too clear, what even Ocelot's purpose is, why he created them, other than maybe immortality or something. But Why Ocelot is invisible, I can't tell you. Where Ocelot is in this fight, I can't tell you. Because I'm pretty sure the reason why Osiris gets on all fours like this and goes crazy is because he's dropped Ocelot and doesn't know where he is. Like, shit is just insane. Consume King Osiris. And just like the Crystal Sage, all souls that link back to Crystal Magic and Seath are light blue. Osiris went mad trying to harness his royal blood for greater purpose, leading him to the why can't I say heretics? I keep wanting to say heretical. Leading him to the heretics of the Grand Archives, where he discovered the twisted worship of Seath the Pale Drake. So yeah, Seath worship, baby. And now I'm going to quickly just go back and get those items because I don't remember what they are. I don't remember where to get the Farum set, and that's really annoying me. I'm not gonna use it or wear it, but I want it. I just want all items. I have an issue. Oh yeah, hello, you're back. Alright, so it should just be those items. Is there any down here? It's a body. No item though. Nothing here. Oh, it's because he's alive. Alright. Thank you. See why I don't like fighting these things? They're a nuisance. Dark gem. There we go. Not a deep gem. Human pine resin, which uses dark, because as we all know, humans are just filled to the brim with dark. And a Titanite chunk. That was it. Alright. Nothing groundbreaking. Nothing astounding, but is there? No, you don't. You ain't getting this. You ain't getting this, boy. Can't test this. You can't touch this, son. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You ain't got nothing on this. You got nothing on this Iron Tarkus booty right here. Ah, yeah. Now these guys, these arseholes. These arseholes will be a thing later, don't worry about that. Hey buddy. I like how you're the only one here. You're the last of your friends to survive. Any drops? No drops, okay. Path of the Dragon. Which is an emote. Comes into play later, don't worry. Comes into play later. I promise you it's important. Now we have a chest here. Not a mimic finally. Titanite scale. But. Ah yeah. The unattended graves. Now this area. This area is a very, very interesting area. Let me tell you what. Okay, my recording's being funny, but hopefully it's all good. Hopefully it's all good. Now the unattended graves, there's a lot of shit here. There's a lot of shit to talk about here. And I don't believe I'm even articulate enough to get it all. But let's just go about our merry way. You see these guys here, these Corpus guys. Like, it's odd enough as it is that these guys are here, right? That these guys are right by Lothric Castle. That's confusing enough. I guess even more confusing. I'm gonna just take these guys out. If they feel like stopping their bloodborne aggression. I have no other term for it apart from bloodborne aggression, where they just frenzy about like crazy. But I go over here to this grave, an Ashen Estus ring. As opposed to the normal Estus ring that we got. There it is. Grey crystalline ring crafted from shards. Increased SP restored by Ashen Estus flask. Once the treasure brought before before Lothric's queen, she had it enshrined in a cemetery of unattended graves, so that one day an unkindled might profit from its use. Was the same thing said for the other one? No, certain firekeeper. Alright. But now, this grave with this unkindled should be familiar. Because if we just walk down here, you just keep walking. There's one place. And there's this. This is the start of the game. This is the Ashen Cemetery from the start of the game. Only dark. Why there's two could lead to some confusion, and also later on you'll see something else that could lead to more confusion. It's glad to see he can kill the dog for me. It's glad to see you can kill the dog for me, buddy. Trust me, that's appreciated. You also have grave wardens here. You thought they were confined to the Field of the Deep? No, they were confined here as well. Now where? Does he come through? There's a patrolling grave warden that always catches me off guard. Really? Fuck, really? I can't hit him? Are you serious? Wow. There you are. There's the grave warden. I found out how the dog hold on with 1 HP. Got the dog eventually though. God. Really? I mean, sure, it's cool. You move like the dancer of the Boreal Valley, but can you just bugger off? Thank you. Jesus. Fucking dogs. From Soft and their dogs, they just love them. I thought that was an item. Dog's there, fuck it. And if we go over here, there should be a crystal lizard if you remember correctly. A giant crystal lizard. But nah, man. Nah, man. There's 2 this time. You thought this was going to be a cakewalk? Hell nah. This is a secret area. So therefore, you come back, you're going to learn some shit. You're going to get schooled, son. Come here looking for a good time? This is a bad time. Also, I refuse to fight 2 at once, so yeah. About that. Ah, I missed my chance. God damn it. Thank you. Do it again. There we are. Titanite scale, thank you. And I believe I believe your friend also drops a Titanite scale, if I'm correct. In my assumptions. What happened there? Did he just cancel out of his roll, or did he bug out? I'm not even sure. And you're dead, son. Oh, you're not dead, son. Wow. And you're dead, son. 2 Titanite scales. Alright. Job well done for me. No items, it's just 2 Titanite lizards. 2 giant Titanite lizards. As you can expect, this area is more or less the same as when you first came through here. But why are there 2? Why are there 2, you might wonder. But what's a lot? I wanted to talk about... Nah. Now if we come up here. Hello. Hello. Crystal Mage. A Crystal Mage right here who has the Crystal Sage's rapier. God damn it. And of course she's gonna beat me out because there's no poise in this game. There's only poise for the enemies, not play it. Okay. I'll take it. She doesn't drop anything. I don't believe. No you don't. No you don't, boy. Sit down. Like, even the enemies are the same. There's more of them, and they're more aggressive. But the enemies are still the same. Bye-bye. There's an item on the coffin. No, there's one behind it. There's also you. And you two. There we go. These guys can be a nuisance. Hidden blessing, thank you. Down here? Nope. But there is one hidden here. Ah, come on. There you are, sir. And because this is the starter area, Swordmaster makes a return. Isn't that great? Item down there? There is no item down there. Okay. Swordmaster? You know what we're here for, right? You know what we're here for. I mean. Okay. Okay. Swordmaster. Fine. Are you happy now, Swordmaster? Are you happy now? You got your katana going? Let's go. I honestly thought you ran off somewhere else. Alright, let's go. I swear to God, if you dropped those guys, I'd be so pissed. Black Knight Glaive. Where is you? Where the hell is the Black Knight Glaive? Am I just... Oh no, there it is. Glaive used by Black Knights who wander the lands, used to face Chaos Demons. Unique attack of this glaive greatly reduces enemy poise, reflecting the tremendous size of the enemies that the Knights have fiercely faced. And now... Sword, bro? Yeah, right. Champion Gundyr. We have now gone from the Udex Gundyr, who is the Judge Gundyr, to Champion Gundyr. Whether or not they are one and the same person, I cannot tell you. Like, it's possible that they're two different Gundyrs. One to judge the unkindled, see if they're worthy, and one who is the actual boss. And by boss, I mean bosses in the status, not bosses in like you're a boss character. I mean you are a beast, man. You are awesome. Also, this guy's aggressive as all fuck. I want to point that out. This guy's mad aggressive. There we go. Like, this guy's moveset is like, you need to time dodges. You need to know what you're doing if you wish to fight him, because he is the champion. Okay, thank you, Havel. Why did you just run past? Ah. Okay, that was closer than I would ever like it to be. And that's Champion Gundyr down. Thank you, Swordmaster. Champion Gundyr soul. Notice we never got a soul for the Udex Gundyr. We just got the coiled sword. Champion Gundyr. Once a champion came late to the festivities and was greeted by a shrine without fire and a bell that would not toll. So Champion Gundyr was in fact an unkindled. He most likely would have been someone to have linked the fire, but when he showed up, there was no fire link shrine for him. No bell to signal the unkindled, like the Udex Gundyr. So either Champion Gundyr was to link the fire, or he was like the Udex Gundyr. He was to be the judge. He was to be the judge. I can't say for certain. But now this place should look awfully familiar. Is there anything along here? There is not. Down there. Nope. Black Knights. Why is there a Black Knight here? Of all places, I can't say for certain. Anything down here? Nope. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Okay, thank you. I'll be honest, after fighting Champion Gundyr, I'd rather not die to you. If we go up the steps, we see a familiar shrine. A familiar shrine that we will not enter just yet. There we go. No escape. If we go up to where the Swordmaster was, we get a special little treat for us. A Chaos Blade. A cursed sword of unknown origin bearing uncanny streaks in its blade. Attacks also damage the wielder. The sword is not unlike a thing mistaken or misshapen, granted life, but never welcome in this world. In other words, chaos itself. That sword is made using you can't go in there. That sword is made in Dark Souls 1 using Quaelag's soul, if I remember correctly. Who is a daughter of Chaos. She's a daughter of the Witch of Izalith, who was, well, tainted by the Chaos Flame and turned into a spider lady. Just like the Fair Lady. Anything over here? Nope. But There's something down here. I really don't like the overhead attack that you get for rolling with the claymore. Great axe used by Black Knights who wander the lands. Unique attack of this. Basically, they used to deal with big things, is what all their weapons say. And the Hornet Ring. We now have the 4th ring belonging to Knights of Gwyn. Ring associated with the Lord Blade, or the Lord's Blade Kiran. One of the 4 Knights of Gwyn, the First Lord, boosts critical attacks. The Masked Kiran. I always say Kiran. Masked Kiran was the only woman to serve in Gwyn's 4 Knights, and her curved sword granted a swift death to any and all enemies of the throne. Which one? The gold one or the silver one? Because she had 2 curved blades, guys. Come on. But now if we go in here. What do we have here? What do we have here? A Firelink Shrine without flame. And no bell. No bell at all. Not even sure we can go up to the bell tower. There we go over here. Is there any patches? There's no patches. You got a seed for me? You do have a seed for me. Thank you. And I have 2 of these. Makes enemies react to invaders. The giant trees were known as Watcher trees, and their seeds unmask invaders. When used effectively, these seeds will help counter dark spirits. Can we go up here? We cannot. We can't even enter the bell tower. And there's no ladder. People can probably make it up here using the jump. I can't. So there's no patches. There's no coiled sword in the middle. There's no one who sits the thrones. These are indeed their thrones, but no one may sit them. Ringfinger isn't here. Ludlif? There's no Ludlif. Coiled sword fragment. Fragment of the coiled sword of a bonfire which served its purpose long ago. Returns its caster to the last bonfire used for resting, or the bonfire of Firelink Shrine. Bonfires are linked to one another irreversibly, retaining their affinity long after their purpose is exhausted. So this was Firelink Shrine in the past. Long ago. Before us. No Firekeeper though. No Firekeeper in sight. You know what is in sight? A familiar face.
Well, fancy that. A lost lamb wandereth in, with nary a peep from the bell. Well, thou shouldst my purpose know. What can this old handmaid provide thee? To skirt the curse's grasp, tarry not for long. 'Tis dark for now, and not a soul stirs, but remember, fires are known to fade in quiet. Or perhaps thou'rt captive already, like the poor girl.
Like the poor girl captured in dark.
To skirt the tarry not is dark for now. Or perhaps thou'rt captive like the
Poor girl captive in dark. For whatever reason.
No.
Actually, no, I'm going to go into that later. Like in a bit. But what she provides us. The Priestess Ring. Ring engraved with the portrait of the High Priestess. increases faith. In Lothric, the High Priestess has long been considered one of the 3 pillars of the king's rule. The High Priestess also served as the prince's wet nurse. And we also get the Wolf Knight set. Helm of a Knight tainted by the dark of the abyss. The twilight blue tassel is damp and will ever remain so. A vanquished knight left behind only wolf's blood and his legacy of duty. The undead legion of Farron was formed to bear his torch, and the armour of these abyss watchers suggests their eventual end. So,
Best not.
yeah, the abyss watchers were outright carrying on the legacy of Artorias. But there's no Grey Rat, there's no Carla, there's no Cornix, there's no Vinheim guy, I never remember his name, and there's no Andre. But there's a blacksmith hammer going unused. Metal hammer passed down among blacksmiths of the shrine. Serves as a strike weapon but also excels at reducing poise and breaking the guard of a shield. Of course, the hammer's true potential is realised in the hands of a blacksmith. So Andre hasn't been sitting here smithing for eons. There have been several blacksmiths that all attend the shrine, and Andre is one of them. If we go over here, no Ura, or no Uria, sorry. I keep saying Ura, I keep thinking of Jura, but yeah, there's no Uria, there's no Laurel. I don't remember, is it Uriel? L'Oreal? No, not L'Oreal, Uriel. Urel, I don't remember. And if we come over here, there's a wall. Yeah. But instead of being greeted by our dear friend the nun, we are greeted by a familiar outfit. Eyes of a firekeeper. Reveals horrors to the sightless firekeeper. A pair of dark eyes, said to be the eyes of the first firekeeper, and the light that was lost by all firekeepers to come. It reveals to the sightless firekeepers things that they should never see. So this firekeeper here has seen. I'll let our dear firekeeper explain that, what she sees with the eyes. But as it's kind of hinted at with what she says.
To skirt the tarry not is dark for now, and not a or perhaps like the poor best
Like the poor girl. A poor girl captive by the dark, and she was sealed away behind illusionary walls for some reason. Right, back here, back to our Firelink Shrine. And we have something special for the little lady.
Welcome home, Ashen One. Speak thine heart's desire. Ashen One, are these eyes? How gracious of thee, Ashen One. The very things we firekeepers have been missing. Ashen One, my thanks for the eyes thou'st given. But firekeepers are not meant to have eyes. It is forbidden. These will reveal through a sliver of light frightful images of betrayal. A world without fire. Ashen One, is this truly thy wish?
Now, the eyes show her a world without fire, which is what we witnessed. The dark world where the bell did not toll. The Firelink Shrine stood as a shadow of its former self without flame. Fire had faded. I can't explain how we were able to traverse, but as far as I can tell, somehow behind Osiris's garden, behind the consumed king's garden, we were able to peer into a world without fire. The coiled sword said that it was long ago, but that would mean that the fire faded completely and was relit somehow along the way, which I'm not sure about. But it must have been because the firekeeper who was dead and was sealed away in the walls, so her eyes saw a world without fire. And since then, all firekeepers have had their eyes removed as to make sure that they never question. They never see the opportunity of a world without fire. They can never see what it can bring. They are just tasked. They are given their task by the gods to watch over the flames to ensure the gods rule, and they never question. And here, you restore the eyes of your firekeeper, and with that, it questions her faith and her duty, and thus she asks you, do you wish to have a world without fire, or not? If you say no, she asks you to take the eyes back from her, which is to kill her. She responds later, but if you say no, she will say, kill me and take the eyes back. I think I have a recording, I might throw that in. And if you say yes...
Of course. I serve thee, and will do as thou bidst. This will be our private affair. No one else may know of this. Stay thy path. Find lords to link the fire, and I will blindly tend to the flame. Until the day of thy grand betrayal.
Until the day we betray the gods. And you can hear it in her voice. She is really uncertain about this because this is new to her. And this is one thing I do love about the Soul series and like the endings and everything. Is that this directly affects the ending that you get. But whether or not it's good is completely up to interpretation. Whether or not you agree with the gods and the Age of Fire is good, whether you agree that the Age of Dark is good, that the Age of Dark is the Age of Man. It all comes down to interpretation of the endings and what they mean. And that is one thing I really love about this series.
Forgive me if this soundeth strange. The eyes show a world without fire. A vast stretch of darkness. But 'tis different to what is seen when stripped of vision. In the far distance, I sense the presence of tiny flames, like precious embers, left to us by past lords, linkers of the fire. Could this be what draws me to this strangely enticing darkness?
And like that, she is being drawn into the dark. She has visions of flames left by lords, past linkers of the fire, as she said, inside the dark, which could mean, it against all speculation right here, but I take that to mean that she's either like what she said, it was different than when she had a vision struck from her. When she had a vision stripped from her. But I take it to mean that what she's actually seeing is, like, humanity. She is seeing humanity is within humans. Or she is seeing, I guess, what remains of the flame within humans. But from what I take from this is that she's seeing humans. She is, like, seeing humans' potential, mankind's future within the dark. And it's oddly comforting and enticing to her and drawing her nearer. Because that's what the dark does. It seeks out other parts of the dark. Because the darkness and the abyss again, all interpretation, all speculation, isn't inherently bad. It isn't inherently evil. It's feared by the gods because it opposes their rule. But the abyss and the dark and darkness and humanity isn't exactly black and white bad. To humans, humanity and the abyss and the darkness could very well be good.
Ashen One, if thine
It's
heart
hard to
should
say.
bend, kill me, and strip these eyes from my person. I will return as the firekeeper I once was, as it has always been.
And that's saying, if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to risk
If
getting this
killed, I will
ending,
return
kill her.
as it has Farewell, Ashen One. Mayst thou thy peace discover.
Thank you. And now, do you have anything new to say in regards to this?
Aha, Thadrit, so. The eyes show a world destitute of fire, a barren plain of endless darkness, a place born of betrayal. So, I willed myself Lord to link the fire, to paint a new vision. What is thine intent?
What is thine intent indeed?
The eyes show a work. What if I took the mantle of Lord of Cinder of mine own volition? I speak these words with pride. Choose thy fate alone. Seize it with thine own hands. All the more should thy fate entail such foul betrayal.
I love how everyone who is aligned with the gods refers to you letting the fire fade and embracing darkness as a betrayal. Because you're betraying the gods. Despite the fact that the gods enslaved humanity more or less. And I believe that's going to be it for this episode. There's nothing else to do apart from press on to Lothric Castle.